In this screencast, I'm going to show you how to turn a concept map into a presentation using a concept mapping tool called Novamind. What I'll first do is show you what a presentation looks like in Novamind, and then after that I'll show you how to turn a concept map into a presentation. Now you'll see that I've already created a concept map, and it's sufficiently complex that displaying it all at once makes it very difficult to read. And in fact, it's a bit overwhelming. If you were to show this to students in class, I'm not sure if they would get much out of it. But if you turn it into a presentation and reveal the branches one by one, then it becomes much more meaningful. Now, I've already created the presentation from this concept map. So to invoke it, I go up here to Presenter, click the Slides panel. There are my slides, and then I click from the beginning. And this concept map, incidentally, is about an Indo-European root, an ancient Indo-European root called specifically Pele, which meant to be flat or to spread. So the nature of this concept map, in other words, it's etymological. It's showing the origin and development of a word. We move on to the next slide now, and you'll see that all of these are derivatives of that ancient Indo-European source. So just to name a couple of them, it includes the Indo-European plat, which meant to spread, the ancient Greek plasein, meaning to spread out, to mold, the ancient Greek planastai, meaning to spread out, to wander, the Latin planus, meaning flat, level, plain, and so on. I'm just going to focus on one of these branches, specifically the Indo-European plat, which meant to spread, and it in turn had these descendants. The ancient Greek platus, which meant broad, the Latin planta, meaning the sole of the foot, the Latin flato, meaning flat cake, the Old Swedish flundra, meaning flatfish, and so on. Again, I'm just going to focus on one of these sub-branches, specifically the ancient Greek platus, which meant broad. And it eventually became the English word plate and also platypus. It also became the Spanish word plata, meaning silver plate, which became our word platinum. And it became the English word platitude and piazza, even the word place it became, and also plateau. So let's look at these a little bit more closely. Let's start with plate, and you'll see that I have a note attached here. This is a useful tool within Novamind. If I click the note, then you'll see that it opens up there and provides a bit more information. It says plates are so named because they are flat. The difference between a plate and a bowl is that a plate is flat and a bowl is not. Okay, I'm now going to close that note field, and let's move on to the next word that is derived from this source, and it's platypus. And you might say, well, what does a platypus have to do with this? Well, in fact, as this note will explain, it takes its name from its feet. The word platypus means flat foot. I'll also show you here that you can have links associated with nodes in the concept map. So if I click this, it says platypus in the online etymological dictionary, and it automatically opens up that page, and you can read more detail about the word platypus. Let's move on to our next word, the Spanish plata, meaning silver plate, which became our word platinum. There's another link here. This time it's to a YouTube video. Let me open that.
Platinum is the rarest and heaviest of all the precious metals.
And so on. I'll close that. Let's just look a little bit further here. Platitude, the word platitude also comes from the same source, and again we have a note there, and I've also, just for demonstration purposes, put a attachment here, a PDF. So if I click this, it opens the PDF, and it's just an article I found at random called Attitudes versus Platitudes. Okay, we could proceed through the rest of this branch, piazza, place, plateau. That's enough for demonstration purposes. Essentially what we could do if we were presenting this in class is we could work through the branches and sub-branches one by one, and that would make the concept map much more apprehendable to students. So that's what a presentation looks like in Novamind when you turn a concept map into a presentation, that is. I will now show you how to actually make that conversion of concept map to presentation. The first thing we'll do is get out of the presentation mode by clicking Escape, and we get back to the concept map mode. So I've deleted the presentation slides that I previously created so that I can now show you the process by which a presentation is made. It's pretty simple. You simply highlight, by clicking on it, the concept map node that you want to turn into a slide. Go up here to Presenter, and then you'll see where it says Create from Selection. In other words, I've selected that node, and so I'm going to click it, and it creates a slide based upon that. Now, my next slide, I want to be this one, the Indo-European plat, meaning to spread. So again, I've highlighted it. You can see that it's outlined. And now I click Create from Selection. There. And again, let me open this up a little bit further. And I want this time to focus on this, the Greek platus. So I've selected it. I click Create from Selection, and I open it further, and just one more slide I'll create. I've highlighted the word plate, and I click Create from Selection. There is one other thing that I want to do about the word plate. I want to really zoom in on it, so I just click Edit, and I click this little icon that says Close Up, and it will really zoom in on that node when I get to it. Okay, so now let's just check this out. I'm going to go to From the Beginning in order to launch the slideshow. That's the first one we created, the second, third, and fourth, and it zooms in, as I was saying. So that's what a presentation looks like in Novamind, and that's also how you create a presentation out of a concept map with this tool. It's quite easy, and I think the resulting presentation is really quite effective because you really get the sense of being led through the various branches of the concept map. I would suggest, therefore, that this could be a very useful presentation tool in the classroom.